All rise, everyone stand please. Cook County Court of Law 2 of the state of Texas is now in session. The Honorable Judge Victor Villarreal now presiding.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome to Webb County Court of Law 2. Please be seated. Today we have some very special guests. When I call your school, I'm going to ask that the students, teachers, and sponsors please stand to be recognized. Cigarroa Middle School, please stand. Welcome. Welcome. Please be seated. Lamar Middle School. Welcome, you may be seated. Memorial Middle School. Welcome, you may be seated. Kristen Middle School. Welcome. You may be seated. Have I missed any school? The court at this time wants to recognize honored guests that are also sponsors of the mock trial. Senator Judith Safrini, Webb County Commissioner John Galo, and Texas Parks and Wildlife Commissioner Ana Galo. We also want to acknowledge the assistance of Ms. Patty Tejerina San Miguel from Commissioner John Galo's office. Bailiff?
The case of J.G. Giant versus Yakin of the Holstock is ready for trial.
The prosecutor is Cecia Rodriguez. And the prosecutor's star witness is J.G. Giant.
Jolly of the jolly.
Please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
May I have a seat? The defense attorney is Lisa Martinez. And she is the attorney representing Yak Jr., also known as Yak in the Frijol stock.
Take out the papers and the trash.
Please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Si, senor.
You may have a seat. Another witness for the prosecution is Dumbo, the flying elephant. Please raise your right front foot. Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
The witness for the defense is Yak's mama, Yaki. Please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
You may have a seat. I understand that the charges against Yak and the Frijol stock are theft, trespassing, breaking and entering, and attempted murder. Is everyone ready to proceed?
Yes, Your Honor.
Will the bailiff and deputy bailiff please swear in the jury?
Yes, sir. Will the jurors please stand and raise their right hands? You solemnly swear that you will listen to all the testimony today and decide the issues fairly.
Yes.
Do you swear that you will not discuss this case with anyone until after you have reached a verdict? You may be seated. Your Honor, the jury has been sworn in and is now ready to begin.
Very well. Does the prosecution have an opening statement?
Yes, Your Honor. The prosecution will show that Yak is guilty of theft, which is the same as stealing. Guilty of trespassing, which means entering the property without permission. Guilty of breaking and entering, which is entering a building by force for the purpose of stealing. And guilty of attempted murder, which means that he was trying to kill someone, but he failed. We will prove that this chavo broke into the giant's home not once, not twice, but 3 times. Tres veces. Se jambó not only the giant's chicken that laid the golden eggs, but also his golden eggs, his golden coins, and his golden maracas. When my client, the homeowner, ran after him to get his prized golden chicken back, este sangroncito viciously, mercilessly tried to kill him. Es bien gacho. So mean. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, when you hear the evidence, you most certainly will agree that this young man, Yak, is guilty of theft, guilty of trespassing, guilty of breaking and entering, and guilty of attempted murder. Thank you.
Counsel for the defense?
Yes, Your Honor. We will show that Yak is innocent of all charges. The prosecutor's argument no vale ni chicle ni dos cacahuates. It is puro guapo. It's absolutely worthless. In fact, it's not worth 2 cents or even 2 peanuts. We also will show that this young, overeager prosecutor anda bien enchilada, hotter than a chili pepper in her attack. She wants to unfairly punish this brave hijito, this darling mama's boy who risked his life to get back his dead papi's treasures and to protect and feed his widowed mommy and himself. The giant's wife, Jolly White, invited Yak in, so how could that be trespassing or breaking and entering? It's true that the giant fell when Yak chopped down his own frijol stalk, but he didn't know the giant was on it. And that big, hard-headed giant wasn't even hurt, probably because he's so cabezudo. How can that be attempted murder? Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you will most certainly disappoint the prosecution when you hear the evidence and find that Yak in the frijol stalk is innocent of all charges. Thank you.
Thank you. The prosecution may call its first witness.
Thank you, Your Honor. The prosecution calls its star witness, Mr. J.G. Giant. State your name for the record, please.
J.G. Giant.
What does J.G. stand for?
Joey, George. But my friends call me Jolly Green. Oh, oh, oh.
How do you prefer to be addressed?
At my home, 395 Carne Hueso Road, Laredo, Texas, 78040.
No, sir. I mean, how shall I call you?
Oh, that's easy. On my cell, 956.
No. What name shall I use for you, Mr. Giant?
Oh.
Giant? JG?
Oh, I'm sorry. What my friends call me, of course. Jolly Green. Oh.
Okay, Jolly Green. I'll skip the ho. Tell us about your experience with yak in the frijol stock.
Okay. I came home from eating lunch at my brother's house one day, and I smelled the kid. He must have been playing outside all day. Bullshit. Dios mío, my word. I started singing my favorite song. Fee, fi, fo, fum. I smell the blood of a Laredo one. Be he alive and surely not dead, I'll invite him to sit and share my bread. Little did I know that stupid little brat.
Objection, Your Honor. The witness does not have to expertise to testify about Yak's intelligence, and Yak certainly is not stupid or little.
Sustained. The jury will disregard that statement. Please continue.
Okay. I came home and Yak was hiding in my oven. Like he was inviting me to bake him. Talk about dumb. I smelled him out though, and I told him, hit the road, Yak, and don't come back. Hit the road, Yak, and don't come back. No more, no more, no more, no more. Hit the road, Yak, and don't come back.
What you saying?
Se chisqueó and hecho máquina. That huerquito mocoso mentiroso hit the road so hard and looked so scared, tiembly, so shaky, I never thought I'd see that kid again.
Then what happened?
My sweet wife, Jolly White Giant, told me I scared him away because of my size, especially my big mouth and teeth. She likes to call me Hocicón.
How tall are you?
101 feet and 2.5 inches.
Excuse me, sir, you certainly don't look that tall today.
Well, that's because Lichita in Wonderland gave me and my wife shrinking pills so we could fit in a taxi and in the courtroom, not to scare the jurors. So today I'm only 5 feet and 11 inches tall.
How nice of Miss Lichita. Please, continue your story.
Certainly. The next morning, dear Jolly White was sad and totally agitada. She was totally upset because Yak had stolen our centenarios. Good thing that I had this one in my pocket, or he would have taken it too.
What is a centenario?
See, it's a gold coin, originally worth at least 100 pesos, now worth much more. And that's a fun fact. I inherited lots of them from my grandmother, Nane, pícale la panza. That's Spanish for poke my belly, which she always did.
Was that the last time you saw that little pachuco robon, that little thieving little hoodlum?
Objection, Your Honor. The prosecutor is being argumentative and insulting.
Sustained. The jury will disregard that insult as well.
He came back again, and again, and again. Ya, gorro. So annoyed. The next time, he stole my golden maracas. And the third time, he took my beloved pollito de oro, my chicken, who laid golden eggs.
JG, are these your golden maracas?
Yes, and I want them back. I can't dance the cha-cha-cha without them.
I mean, how did you even mambo without them?
No way.
And are these the golden eggs that went missing?
Yes, and I need them and my pollita back too.
How could you support your family without them?
I couldn't.
Jolly Green, did you or your wife ever do anything to make Yak mad? Le picaron los ojos? Or why? Why would he want to steal your golden treasures? Surely, sir, you must have poked his eyes or something.
He's just a mean, greedy, sneaky little kid. Typical human.
Objection, Your Honor. Character evidence. The witness has no right to continue to insult my client.
The objection is sustained. Counselor, please control your client or be prepared to deal with the consequences.
My apologies, Your Honor. We will do better. When was the last time that you saw Yak?
When he ran away with my golden gallinita, I chased him down his frijol stalk. When he hit the ground, he chopped it down with his machete. Like Humpty Dumpty, who sat on the wall, I had a great fall. But, gracias a Dios, my head is so darn thick, it didn't crack.
I mean, in this Laredo heat, Humpty Dumpty would have been cooked immediately. One fried huevo, over, easy. The perfect huevo ranchero.
Objection, Your Honor. Humpty Dumpty has nothing to do with this case. His crack-up is irrelevant and immaterial, and it's no yoke. Not in a funny way.
The objection is sustained.
Jolly White says a más wimpy hombre would have died, but not her cabezudo. Not a scratch or moretón.
So you're lucky to be alive and with no bruises.
Even though Yak tried to kill me, and thanks to my cabeza de piedra. No bruises on this hard head.
Pass the witness.
Does the defense wish to cross-examine?
Yes, Your Honor. Giant, didn't Yak hear you singing, "Fee, fi, fo, fum, I smell the blood of a Laredo one. Be he alive or be he dead, I'll grind his bones to make my bread."
Oh, no. My older carnal, BB3, sings that version, but I sing, "Be he alive and surely not dead, I'll invite him to sit and share my bread."
Your older brother, BB the Third. What does BB stand for?
Big Bad?
Big Bad. As in, Big Bad Wolf?
Yes.
And did you say the third?
Yes.
So your father was Big Bad Giant Jr., and your grandfather was Big Bad Giant Sr.
Yes, but I'm the good one. I'm the jolly one. Ho, ho, ho. I'm not big and bad. No, ma'am. Ho, ho, ho.
Isn't it true, Giant, that boys and girls everywhere are afraid of you because your favorite food is taquitos de niño?
Again. You are confusing me with Big Bad Giant the Third. Or maybe even Junior. Or Senior. I invite children to lunch. I don't eat them for lunch.
So what does taquitos de niño mean in English?
You know what that means. Tortillas, filled with cooked kiddos, usually thighs or bellies.
Oh, that's disgusting. Weren't you and your brother and his guests who were seen picking up taquitos de niño and eating them with their fingers?
With their fingers? Hombre, no way. They eat fingers separately, deditos fritos. Más o menos. Like fried chicken from Wendy's. Que ricos, yum.
I'm sorry, that's disgusting. Que asco! Oh. Had you ever met the defendant before? Yak Jr. or Yaquito, as we call him?
Nope.
Did you ever know or do business with his father, Yak Sr. or Yacote, as we call him?
Hombre, nope.
What about with his grandfather, Yacotote?
Tampoco.
Did your father or grandfather do business with Yacotote or Yacote?
If they did, I don't know. No sé.
Didn't your gold coins, golden maracas, and golden chicken once belong to Yacote, and before that to Yacotote?
How would I know?
And weren't they Yak's inheritance, passed down from his grandfather to his father, and from his father to him?
Not that I know of. ¿Quién sabe?
So isn't it true that Yak didn't steal anything from you, and that he just took back what your family stole from his?
Objection, Your Honor. The giant is not on trial here, and that question is irrelevant and immaterial.
But those are the facts that are in question. The objection is overruled.
For the record, the giant will be on trial when we sue him.
Objection, Your Honor. He isn't on trial now. Jack is.
That's correct. Sustained. Please continue.
Where did you get those golden goodies?
Well, they were all at my house when I moved in after my grandmother, Nane, pícale la panza, died and left everything to me
Do you know where she got them?
from my grandfather.
And you admit that your grandfather, Big Bad Giant Sr., might have gotten or taken them from Yak Sr. Do you deny that it's possible?
Mira, babosa. I can't deny it if I don't know it, you idiot.
Objection, Your Honor! He's
Giant,
insulting me.
no matter how big you are, in this courtroom, you must be more respectful. One more insult like that, and I'll fine you $500 and hold you in contempt of court.
I'm sorry, Judge. I was trying to be polite. That's why I called her babosa and idiot instead of another word I really wanted to call her.
Honor.
Try harder, please. Counselor, please proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. You said you ate lunch at your brother's house the day you met Yak. How was it?
It was great. Everything was delicious as usual.
Ooh, what did he serve?
Our family favorite, taquitos de niña. I mean,
Con salsa or without salsa? No more questions.
You may step down. At this time, the prosecution may call your next witness.
The prosecution calls Dumbo. State your full name, please.
Dumbo, Jumbo, Junior.
What do you do or where do you work?
I'm Dumbo the Flying Elephant and star in evening shows at La Posada Hotel and Suites in downtown Laredo. Some customers never see me though, even when I'm the only elephant in the room.
How did you meet the giants?
I burned my feet while walking by San Agustin Church during the canicula. The next day, I was flying over the giant's property and got really tired because my feet were bandaged so heavily. I landed in a field of delicious wild weeds. The giants found me snacking and decided to come by every day and eat all the weeds I wanted. They said it would save them a lot of work.
And did you accept their invitation?
For all the free weeds I wanted? Claro que sí. Of course, I started dropping by every day and we became great friends.
Tell us what you know about what happened between Jolly Green Giant and Yak in the frijol stock.
I was snacking on fresh hierbitas one day and heard giants singing. 3, 5, 4, bum. I smelled the blood of a Laredoan. Be he alive and surely not dead, I'll invite him to sit and share my bread. Later, I saw Yak running from Jolly Green's home. He was carrying a bag of centenarios.
What other times did you see Yak?
Another time I saw him running down the frijol stock with some golden maracas. The last time I saw him, he had the golden chicken and her golden egg, and he was chopping down in the frijol stock. I thought to myself, ¿Quién se cree? He must think he's George Washington chopping down his cherry tree.
Were you ever afraid of the giants?
At first I was, but they loved me because I saved them a lot of gardening time and money.
Did they ever try to eat you?
Oh no, they don't eat animal meat, especially not gordura grasosa or fatty flesh like mine. And just like most dogs, they really love sucking on bones. In fact, instead of saying provecho in Spanish or bon appetit in French, before meals, they say bon appetit.
No more questions. Pass the witness.
Does the defense wish to cross-examine this witness?
Yes, Your Honor. Dumbo Jumbo, what other friends or family do you have in Laredo?
None. I have a sister, Mumbo, but she lives in New York City.
Did your mother, Mrs. Jumbo, teach you and your sister, Mumbo Jumbo, to be kind to everyone?
She sure did.
So to honor your mother, you would do anything to help a friend, including Jolly Green, right?
Right.
Including lying for him?
Objection, Your Honor. The defense counsel is badgering the witness.
That's right, sustained. The jury will disregard that statement.
Sorry, Your Honor. Dumbo, isn't it true that whatever the giant says, le sigas la onda, or you go with his flow?
Pretty much. Casi siempre.
I thought so. By the way, we all admire your big ears. What do you use them for?
Mostly to fly, of course. But I also flap them, fan myself, and keep cool in the summer. Sometimes I spread them to shade my body and hide from the sun, or to cover myself when it's cold.
Do you also use them to hear?
Not really.
So how do you hear?
Oh, I'm an elephant, so I hear through my feet. You can read about it in Wikipedia. Sound travels from the bottom of my feet to my toenails, through my trunk, and finally to my ears.
Do all elephants hear through their feet?
We do.
Now that's a fun fact I'll bet no one in this courtroom knew.
Well, since humans hear through their ears, they wrongly think all animals do. Elephants sure don't.
Were your feet bandaged when you visited the giants?
Heavily. I just took my bandages off to come to court today so I could hear you.
How did bandaging your feet affect your hearing?
I could barely hear.
Then how could you say you heard the giants singing?
Well, I mean, ¿cómo se dice? His mouth was moving, and he told me he was singing.
Did the giant tell you what he was singing?
He did.
And then you agreed to come to court and say that's what you heard.
Well, I figured if that's what he said he was singing, that must be what I heard, especially since I couldn't hear at the time.
And you just wanted to help because they're your only friends?
Yes, and because of the few weeks. I saw no harm.
Have you ever met Yak in the frijol stock?
I've only seen him running.
Do you have any reason to think that he was stealing instead of just taking back what belonged to his dead father and now should be his?
No reason.
Does Yak seem like a nice young man? Like someone you might want to be friends with?
He sure does.
Objection, Your Honor. Character evidence. Counselor is asking Dumbo to make assumptions about Yak's character.
Objection sustained.
Pass
The jury will disregard that statement about Yak's character.
Sorry, Your Honor. Pass the witness.
You are excused.
The prosecution rests, Your Honor.
At this time, the defense may call its first witness.
The defense calls Yak and the frijol stock. Please state your name and age.
Yak Junior. My mom calls me Yakito. I'm 12 years old.
Tell the jury where you and your family have lived since you were born.
My father died when I was only 8 years old. It was just after his business partner cheated him. All of a sudden, my mother and I were so poor, we didn't even have enough to eat. We had to move from home with marble floors near the country club to a one-room casita with dirt floors by the Rio Grande.
How did you and your mother support yourselves after your father died?
The only thing we had left was our vaca preciosa, Roberta Rodriguez. My mother and I supported ourselves by selling our precious cow's fresh milk and our homemade butter and cheese with leche quemada, candy at the farmer's market at Jarvis Plaza. When Roberta dried up, we had nothing left. No money, no food, no nothing. We had to sell her to survive.
To whom did your family sell her?
I sold her to a viejita for some frijoles mágicos, some magic beans, with the old lady said were special.
What did those magic frijoles look like?
They looked just like pinto beans, but tasted like watermelon. So we used them to make some delicious pops. See, I had brought some for my snack today. I would offer you and the jury some, and the judge, but no les quiero hacer la barba. I don't want to be accused of bribery.
That's a very wise move because bribery is against the law and it's punishable by jail time.
Why did you name your cow Roberta Rodriguez?
In honor of Robert Rodriguez, El Rey Network, he made my favorite movie, Spy Kids, and works with my hero, El Machete. Robert's awesome, and so was our cow.
I should have known. Please continue.
When I got home, my mother was furiosa, said that I sold Roberta for magic frijoles instead of for money or food. She started crying and sent me to bed without dinner. Then she was furious. She threw the frijoles out the back window.
Then what happened?
In the morning, like magic, there was an amazing, humongously high frijol stock loaded with beans. Híjole, super padre. I was so excited, super pumped. I said, "Watchame, mama. I'm going to climb it and go knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door." Then I realized what this meant for us. We had enough beans to eat and to support ourselves for the rest of our lives. We could open up El Rey de los Frijoles restaurant and sell taquitos de frijoles con weenies, frijoles refritos con patitas de puerco, tortas de frijol con chicharrones. The list goes on and on. Beans with everything from pig feet to chitterlings. Our best seller for snacks and dessert, however, was our yak pop.
So what did you do?
I shouted, "Beat me up, Scotty." Then I climbed and I climbed that frijol stock, and I was thinking of how to advertise our new bean business, maybe with a little poem. Beans, beans, the magical food. The more you eat them, the better you feel. So let's have beans at every meal. Finally, I came to a city high in the sky, Las Nubes. That's Spanish for the clouds.
Then what happened?
Well, I walked and finally saw Miss Jolly White Giant, who invited me into her kitchen. When she heard her husband coming home, singing about cooking Laredo ones into bread, she made me hide in the oven. Just when I heard them talking about taquitos de niño and pan de niño, I realized the oven was on, and I was baking. I ran out, climbed down my frijol stock, and I went home.
Did you visit the Giants' home again?
Several times. Each time the giantess invited me in, and each time I managed to escape when I heard her husband singing about grinding the bones of Laredoans and baking us into bread or taco meat.
Did you take the golden coins, the golden maracas, and the golden gallina that laid golden eggs?
I did.
You admit you stole them from the giants.
I did not steal them.
Please explain yourself, young man.
You see, they belong to my father. I just took them back from my mother.
What proof do you have that they belong to your father?
We have pictures of my father and us before he died. Some in our big house with lots of centenarios, and he loved to give them to the church and to the Webb County neighborhood centers.
What about the other golden items?
My father loved to sing and play his golden maracas with los mariachis del barrio, and he supported us by selling golden eggs laid by the golden chicken, especially for East Our Bunny's annual egg hunt. The pictures prove that, and more. They show him with the giants babeando, drooling over them.
How did Jolly Green get your father's golden goodies?
I heard my father was cheated out of them by his big Chueco partner in a big Chueco business deal. He was bamboozled by a bunch of crooks.
Did you steal anything from the giants?
No way, Jose. I just took what was my father's, and now my birthright as his first and only son.
Did you trespass onto his property or break and enter into his home for any evil purpose?
Nunca. Jolly White Giant invited me in each time, but I left when I got scared. Los golosos asustosos might grind my bones and cook me into their pan de niños. They sounded like giant starving chupacabras.
Did you try to kill the giant?
Why would I even consider taking on someone so much bigger than I am? His house was in Las Nubes. Its only connection to our home was my giant frijol stock. When I got away from him, I was scared to death and thought, what would el machete do? Then I grabbed my machete to cut down our connection to him, and I never wanted to see that niño-eating giant again. I mean, would you?
Did you know he was chasing you down the frijol stalk when you started chopping it down?
Absolutely not. It was too high for me to see.
Would you have cut it down if you knew he was on it?
No, but I sure would have grabbed my mamacita and run away as fast and as far as we could.
Did you at any time consider killing him?
Never. I just wanted to protect myself and my mother from him and the other child-eating giants.
Pass the witness.
Does the prosecution wish to cross-examine?
Yes, Your Honor. Yak, that is quite a fractured fairy tale you just told all of us.
Objection, Your Honor. The prosecutor's being argumentative.
Sustained. The jury will disregard that statement.
Okay. When you supposedly discovered your father's missing items, that they were at Mr. and Mrs. Giant's home, did you tell your mother?
No, ma'am.
Did you tell your teacher?
No, ma'am.
Did you tell a police officer?
No, ma'am. Just like the Spy Kids, I handled it myself. They didn't tell their parents. They didn't tell their parents or the police.
So, you decided to take matters into your own hands and steal them.
Objection, Your Honor. The question calls for a legal conclusion. It is up for the jury to determine if Yak is guilty of theft.
Correct, Counselor. The objection is sustained.
What proof do you have that the golden centenarios, these golden maracas, and the golden chicken and her eggs belong to your father?
Pictures. Lots of pictures.
So you say, but sir, I don't see any. Can you, by any chance, produce those pictures for us?
I can.
Objection, Your Honor. Those pictures were not introduced into evidence during direct examination, and they shouldn't be brought up right now.
I deliberately didn't introduce them, Your Honor, because I just knew the prosecutor would object, and I was afraid she would block their admission into the record. Now, she brought them up, she opened the door, and she asked Yak if he could produce the pictures. Yak said he could. Now, she should have the opportunity to do so.
I did not ask him to produce those pictures.
Yes, you did.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
You
Let's
just did.
just settle this without arguing. Would the deputy court reporter please read back the transcript?
Prosecutor, can you produce those pictures for us? Witness, yes, I can.
Mr. Prosecutor, Miss Prosecutor, you did indeed open the door. Your objection is overruled. The witness will produce the pictures.
Yes, sir. Here they are, along with the pictures of the fancy house that we used to live in, and the other one-room casita that we've lived in since my father, Yacote, died. There are also pictures of my father and my grandfather, Yacote and Yacotote, with Big Giant Jr. and Senior, the father and grandfather of Jolly Green and the Big Bad Giant III. All the golden items I took back are in lots of photos. You can see the giants babeando, drooling all over them.
Yeah. Did I ask you to describe them? No, I did not, and I'm not asking that those pictures be admitted into the record. Did the giants attend your father's funeral?
We didn't have a funeral.
Why not?
We never found his body. Maybe the giants ate him.
No further questions.
You are excused, young man. The defense may call its next witness.
The defense calls Yaki, the mother of Yak and the Frijolsa. State your name, please.
Yaki, widow of Yak Sr. and mother of Yakito, or Yak Jr.
Were you and your husband ever compared to another famous and wealthy couple with similar names?
We certainly were. As Yak and Yaki, we were often compared to former United States President Jack and Jackie Kennedy, parents of Jack Jr., whom we called Jackie.
And like the Kennedys, when your husband was alive, you gave money to education and to children's programs and ran for public office?
Yes, ma'am, we certainly did. He was a yak of all trades. We loved to contribute, especially to education. And Yak Sr. was a president too. Depending on what part of Laredo we lived in at the time, he served as president of the Board of Trustees of the United ISD and Laredo ISD Board.
Why did your husband go broke?
I only know that one day we were on top of the world, and the next, my husband died, leaving us penniless after a disagreement and shenanigans caused by his silent business partner. Puros chanchullos. As my mother said, tenía que haber un cucaracho en el caldo. There must have been a cockroach in the soup. Talk about shady characters.
And this silent business partner was?
Big Bad Giant Sr.
And for the record, he was Jolly Green Giant's grandfather.
Exactly.
Do you believe that Yak stole the golden items from Jolly Green?
He did not. Those items belonged to Yacote and Yacotote, and Yakito had every right to get them back for us. There was no other way to get them since it's impossible to negotiate with those baby finger-eating giants. And everyone is scared to death of the Big Bad Giants who are famous for eating Laredoans, especially our little ones.
Why do you say they eat Laredoans?
Before our city leaders cut off ties with Las Nubes, the Giants used to bully us. They especially pick on the few of us who don't eat animals and eat only vegetables. We call ourselves vegetarians. The Giants don't eat any vegetables. They eat only humans, so they call themselves humanitarians. They're evil and they think that's funny, but I think they're scary. Miramos goose.
Objection, Your Honor. Hearsay.
No, Your Honor, it is not hearsay. Yaki heard that herself.
That is correct. The objection is overruled.
Who cut off connections with the Giants?
My father-in-law, Yacotote, and other Laredo leaders cut off all connections with Las Nubes. They made sure those giants couldn't get to us ever again. Then, Big Bad Giant Sr. called in Yacote, supposedly to discuss how to continue their business. The next thing I knew, they told us that my husband was dead, and all our golden treasures were gone. We never saw him again. The only thing we had left was our cow, and she was so sad when her BFF, our golden chicken, went missing that I think she dried up out of loneliness and a broken heart. Pobre Rafita.
If you never saw your husband again, how did you know he was dead?
Well, the giants told us, and we never saw them again either until today. We thought they had eaten him.
Oh my. Now that you have your golden treasures back, are you and Yaquito back to living in high style?
We are not. We believe in the American system of justice and the rule of law. We're waiting for the judge and jury to decide if Yak was right to take back what was ours.
So after living in a mansion, you and your son still share one humble bedroom by the Rio Grande.
Yes, we do. It has a dirt floor and an outdoor bathroom, but we're lucky to have a roof over our heads.
Do you trust the judge and jury to make the right decision?
Yak and I will abide by their decision. If they decide we stole, then we will give everything back, but we hope they won't.
Pass the witness.
Does the prosecution wish to cross-examine?
Yes, Your Honor. Ma'am, did you give your permission to your son to break into Jolly Green's home and steal his golden treasures?
He didn't break in, he was invited. And he didn't steal, he took back what was taken from us.
Isn't it true that Yak is a smart aleck who's always talking back?
No, if he acts up, I say yakety yak, don't talk back, and he doesn't.
Did you punish Yak for selling your cow for frijoles mágicos instead of for money, for food?
I sent him to bed without dinner, but really it was because we had no food.
Did you give Yak permission to climb that stalk and visit the giant?
No, I didn't even know where he went.
Oh. So, what kind of mother are you? If you had taken better care of your son, he wouldn't be here, would he? Isn't that negligence? Maybe we should report you to Child Protective Services.
Objection, Your Honor. Yaki is a single
No
mother.
need to explain, Counselor. Yaki is not on trial here. Only Yak is, and only charges against him will be considered. The objection is sustained. The jury will most certainly disregard the prosecutor's questions, and the witness will not answer them.
Are you proud of what he did?
Very proud. That, like any red-blooded 12-year-old boy or girl, Yak took charge, just like the Spy Kids. He knew the Giants had a reputation for eating niños, but he stood up to them to get back what was taken from his papi. Would I have approved of his doing so? No. I value his life more than his father's gold.
So, do you think he should have taken his matters into his own hands?
No, I wish he had called the Laredo police or the sheriff instead, or told me or his teacher. That's what children should do when they see something wrong.
Are you glad he did it?
Yes, but only because he is safe.
Do you have any pictures of yourself and your husband in the presence of these items?
Oh, yes, let me show them
No,
to you.
no, ma'am. I did not ask you to show them. And I'm not falling for that one again. You know what they say, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. And that, my friends, is a fun fact. No further questions.
You are excused.
We have no more witnesses, Your Honor. The defense rests.
Very well, we will now hear closing arguments. Is the prosecutor ready?
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you have heard the testimony and you have no choice. You have heard from one of the Disney's most lovable fantasy figures, Dumbo, the flying elephant. She herself said that she saw Yak take the golden centenarios, the golden maracas, and the golden chicken in her golden eggs from the home of my client, Jolly Green Giant. Yak stole what clearly was not his. He trespassed onto Jolly Green's property without Jolly Green's permission. Even if he was right, he should have told his mother, his teacher, the police. The ends do not justify the means, members of the jury. Instead of reporting what he thought was a crime, he himself became the criminal. He's just a sneaky kid. You are not a spy kid. And there's no question about his breaking and entering into the giant's home to steal. Not once, not twice, but 3 times. 3 veces. As soon as he got his golden loot, he didn't give a hoot. How about his magic beans? He chopped down his own free-float stock. He couldn't have cared less about sending my client Jolly Green to an early death and leaving Jolly White a lonely widow, just like his mother. That clearly is attempted murder. You've heard of Jolly Green Giant. You've probably seen him on TV, in the commercial singing, "Ho, ho, ho, Green Giant." How could you possibly think that he would be a danger to Yak in any way, much less think of grinding his bones into his bread? That, ladies and gentlemen, is a giant lie. And I don't mean a giant white lie. Please, I beg of you, don't be fooled by this chapucero and his mother. This little cheater is guilty of theft, guilty of trespassing, guilty of breaking and entering, and guilty of attempted murder. He has broken the law and should be taken away from his negligent mother and sent to live in the youth village with the other little criminals. Thank you.
Counsel for the defense.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, wow, that was harsh. Talk about a mad dog prosecutor. She certainly means well, but put yourself in Yak's place. What if you had a rich father who suddenly lost all his money and died, leaving your beloved mother a widow and you, now 12 years old, fatherless, with only an old dried up cow to support you? What if then you found golden treasures that your father lost in a bad business deal that no one could explain? And what if you were in the home of a giant who had a reputation of eating children just like you? Would you stop to negotiate with the beast, or would you simply try to take back your inheritance and run? Now, what if the only connection to those who would eat you and steal from your family was your very own frijol stock on your very own property? Wouldn't you think dale gas and chop it down? I think so. You know so. Remember, Yak didn't know the giant was chasing him down the frijol stock when he chopped it down. The giant crashed to the ground, but survived without even a scratch or a moretón. How is that attempted murder, especially since there was no motive and not even a bruise or two? If you were in Yak's shoes, what would you want the jury to do? You would want the jury to find that you did the right thing and that you should keep what was once your father's and your grandfather's, and that no one else could claim it legitimately. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, please practice the golden rule. Treat Yak in the frijol stock the way you would want to be treated if you were in his shoes. Find him not guilty of all charges. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you have now heard all of the evidence in this case, It's now up to you to decide if Yak is guilty of any or all of these charges. Please use your 10 minutes wisely to consider all of the evidence that you have heard. I'm going to ask the bailiff and deputy bailiffs to escort the jury to the jury room to consider the verdict. All rise for the jury. The jury is now in the jury box. You may be seated. Mr. Foreperson, has the jury reached a verdict?
Yes, Your Honor.
The defendant and his lawyer will please rise. And you may read the verdict.
We, the jury, find the defendant Yak not guilty of the offense of theft. We, the jury, find the defendant not guilty of the offense of trespassing. We, the jury, find the defendant Yak not guilty of the offense of breaking and entering. We, the jury, find the defendant Yak not guilty of the offense of attempted murder.
The jury has spoken, and the defendant has been found not guilty. Thank you. Thank you, boys and girls, for listening carefully and making this important decision. Boys and girls, at this time, I want to thank you for being here.
Have you seen my wife? Have you seen my son? There you are, I found you! Oh my God!
Sir, what's going on? Wait, sir, who are you?
I'm her husband. His father.
Excuse me, but we all thought you were dead.
Well, the giants stole everything from me and kidnapped me. They made me their servant, making me keep the golden treasures polished and the golden chicken laying golden eggs. When Yak took our things back, they tried to kill me. But I ran away and hid. They couldn't find me. Today, when they came to court, I followed them from a distance and I just found my way into this courthouse.
Well, you'll be happy to know, sir, that your son has been found not guilty. Is there anything you would like to tell us or tell your family?
Oh yeah, tell you something. I think you'll understand when I say that something. I wanna hold your hand. I wanna hold your hand. I wanna hold your hand. And
what an unusual but highly emotional and very loving expression. We're happy for both you and your family, and how very appropriate on Valentine's Day, el Día del Amor y la Amistad. We must continue, however, with the business at hand. The bailiff will get you a seat for you. Boys and girls, at this time, I want to thank you and your teachers for being with us today. We hope that you have enjoyed this mock trial as much as you have learned from it. We're also very grateful to the director of our mock trial, Mr. Tony Bundock. And Assistant Director Meredith Moralia. And I know that you have enjoyed the outstanding performances. JG Giant's Officer Emmanuel Diaz. Prosecutor Cecia Rodriguez. The defendant, Yock Jr., is Freddy Cordova Jr. Defense Attorney Lisa Martinez. Jumbo is Desiree Perez. Yak's mother, Yaki, is Daniela Ramon. A very special and surprise appearance by Mr. Mike Angel. And bailiff is Mr. Victor Vasquez. We are also very grateful to the author of both this mock trial scripts and all mock trial scripts and your student handbook, the Honorable Senator Judith Zaffarini. At this time, Yock and the Frijolsta, Jolly Green, and all the cast will be available to take pictures with you. Our special guests, which include my family, are welcomed here at the bench to take pictures with you. Boys and girls, we hope that you have enjoyed today's mock trial in this Access to Justice class in the courtroom. You saw for yourselves the importance of obeying the law and what can happen if you do not obey the law. I ask that you please come back and visit your Webb County Court at Law 2 and ask your friends and family to visit us as well. Court is adjourned.